Hello, everyone. My name's Alex Caputo-Pearl. I'm the president of United Teachers Los Angeles. We're glad that you're joining us for this update. UTLA members, LA community, LA parents, LA students, we're glad that you're with us. Today, I'm joined here by Gloria Martinez, UTLA's elementary vice president, Stephanie Yellen, who is a school nurse, Ron Herrera, who is the head of the LA County Federation of Labor, Arlene Inoue, the secretary of UTLA, Alex Orozco, the treasurer of UTLA, and Justin Maurer, our great interpreter here. So we have a statement on coronavirus, COVID-19, which is a pandemic, as we know. Though there are no cases that have been reported within LAUSD, at an LAUSD school, we do know that this can spread exponentially from the experience of other countries and other cities. Therefore, today we are calling on LAUSD Superintendent Austin Buettner to proactively close all public and charter schools within LAUSD. We believe from looking at the research from other countries that have been dealing with this over the past weeks and months, that a proactive approach that gets ahead of the game, rather than a reactive approach, closing schools as you find cases, proactivity is the key here. We believe that this has been shown within other countries, that a proactive approach like this actually slows the spread, flattens out the spread, and makes sure that healthcare providers are not crushed with an overwhelming demand and can actually deal with this, and we can dramatically reduce fatalities. So we're calling on LAUSD to close all schools. We also call on the state of California to immediately release funds to support social services and other needs that the district will have in supporting students during this time. There is a $20 billion reserve in the state of California. This is exactly the time that that reserve should be tapped into. We also are, of course, dismayed that just this morning, the federal government, led by Donald Trump, used the Fed, the Federal Commission, to actually invest in bailing out corporations rather than worrying about workers and working families that have been affected by the coronavirus crisis. We have thousands of Unite Here, unionized hotel workers who face dislocation and loss of jobs, and yet the federal government is focused on bailing out corporations rather than focused on workers. Back to the coronavirus. We would like to see, and we expect, the district to close schools within LA rapidly, and in a very accelerated way, and in a very humane way. Our members are professionals, our educators, our nurses, our health and human service providers, our professionals, and they're going to be there for the time that it will take to get to the place of shutting the schools down. We expect that to be very rapid, very accelerated, and really to happen very quickly over the next day or so. Those of our members who are not feeling sick, they will continue doing what professionals do, which is they will go to work. Those of our members who are feeling sick are going to bend the stick in the direction of caution and stay home. We appreciate the role that LAUSD has played in stating that if a closure happens, and right now we are saying that we believe a closure needs to happen quickly, we appreciate LAUSD saying that LAUSD workers will be paid during a closure. We also appreciate LAUSD saying that more sick days will be provided for workers who need more sick days during this crisis. So we appreciate that on the part of LAUSD. That said, a much broader social safety net is needed for our students, for the families of our students, and for workers who work in LAUSD in all sorts of job categories within UTLA and outside of UTLA. It's because we need that kind of social safety net that we are also tonight talking about a set of common good community support demands that we want to see the district, the city, the county, the state, the federal government, and frankly, rich people within LA, and there's a lot of them, helping us build the kind of social safety net that's needed. So, this is what that net looks like and what our common good proposals look like. Number one, we need an outline of very clear health and safety protocols for the home. We've heard a lot about what to do out in crowds. What do we do at home? Number two, we want to see 15 additional paid sick days a year provided to all workers within LA County, within LAUSD and outside of LAUSD, private sector and public sector, to align with the quarantine period of COVID-19. Additional paid time off for those who do not have sick days with their employers. Third, we want to see a weekly disaster stipend for working parents to stay home with their children without losing pay. That is good for their children when schools are shut down, and that is good for LA because it keeps people away from each other at this time that we need social distancing. Fourth, we want to see all economic barriers to coronavirus testing and treatment removed. All economic barriers to testing and treatment removed, including eliminating all insurance copayments and deductibles. Fifth, we want to see a network created of food and supply distribution centers and moving food around the city to students who need food but who don't have school to go to get that food. Sixth, we want to see free and reliable broadband internet access and access to electronic devices for all students while they're at home. Seventh, debt forgiveness. This is going to be a time that is economically difficult. We get that for all sorts of workers within LAUSD and outside LAUSD. We want to see debt forgiveness, suspended rent and mortgage payments, and a shutoff of eviction courts and utility courts. Eighth, we want to see a policy of not penalizing schools based on attendance or missed standardized tests. Ninth, we want to see systematic support for all homeless students within LAUSD and all homeless people, period. And 10th, and finally, we want to see additional support given to students with disabilities and our medically fragile students who during this time are going to face a unique situation. These common good community support demands make sense, and frankly, they are the social safety net that we should have every day, every year, not just during a crisis. And now's our opportunity to build that social safety net through those common good and community support demands. We've got many billionaires and millionaires and multimillionaires living in Los Angeles. Now is the time for you to step up. Many of these folks are philanthropists who say they want to help schools and public schools. Now is the time to step up and fund any one of those initiatives that I just outlined. As you know, this is going to be a time where healthcare is on people's minds, and UTLA is proud to have a long history of fighting for Medicare for all, which we've seen Bernie Sanders lift up, so that when we're in situations like this, we have something to rely on. And when we think about healthcare, we should think about this truism, which is that we are only as protected from a disease like coronavirus and COVID-19, we are only as protected collectively as the most vulnerable person is protected. That's why we need Medicare for all. That's why we need health care. We look forward to working with the district and local and state agencies on this. We are very gratified that Ron Herrera is here because he represents thousands and thousands and thousands of workers across public sector, private sector, inside LAUSD, outside LAUSD. He's standing with us because this is fundamentally a set of demands that help workers. And we're very proud to have Sal Rosselli, the president of NUHW, the Healthcare Workers Union, who said today, and he wanted to make sure this was read to the crowd, as a healthcare union representing workers on the front lines of this pandemic, we must take proactive steps to protect our communities. Although closing schools is a difficult decision, only decisive action will slow the exponential growth of this pandemic and prevent our healthcare system from becoming overloaded. That's from someone who has spent decades within the healthcare system. So we're proud to be here, proud to be making this call, and we look forward to working with the district, the city, county, state, federal government, philanthropists, everyone, to make sure that we do the right thing here in the next few days by closing schools and building that social safety net. I'm going to turn it over now to Gloria Martinez, UTLA's elementary vice president, and she will then turn it over to Stephanie Yellen, a school nurse.
Buenas tardes. Muchas gracias, padres, estudiantes y familias, por unirse con nosotros esta noche. El siguiente es una declaración de United Teachers Los Angeles sobre el cierre proactivo de las escuelas del Distrito Escolar de Los Ángeles. El coronavirus COVID-19 es una pandemia, una crisis de salud que no se parece a nada a lo que hemos visto. Aunque no hay casos identificados o conocidos relacionados con las escuelas del Distrito Escolar de Los Ángeles, LAUSD, la naturaleza del crecimiento exponencial del virus y lo que hemos aprendido de otros estados y países de todo el mundo significa que en este momento no podemos tomar medidas inadecuadas. Por lo tanto, estamos llamando al superintendente de LAUSD, Austin Buettner, que cierre de manera proactiva todas las escuelas públicas y las escuelas charter dentro del distrito. Creemos que la única forma de abordar esta inminente crisis de salud y proteger a nuestros estudiantes, familias y comunidades incluye cerrando nuestras escuelas en tiempo. Entendemos y compartimos la enorme ansiedad en nuestra ciudad y en nuestro país. Animamos a nuestros miembros a que se adhieren a los consejos del distrito y los planes establecidos por LAUSD, ya que sabemos que aún queda mucho trabajo para hacer para garantizar que nuestros estudiantes y familias puedan estar sanos y seguros. Es un momento en que decenas de miles de empleados de hoteles y otros trabajadores de bajos salarios están siendo amenazados con la pérdida de empleados, al mismo tiempo que Donald Trump promete rescatar a Wall Street y corporaciones multimillonarias. Esto es inaceptable. Le pedimos al gobierno estatal y federal que la asignación de fondos sea para nuestras poblaciones vulnerables de estudiantes y familias y no a los multimillonarios. California es la quinta economía más grande del mundo y con una reserva de casi $20 mil millones. Nuestro estado puede hacer lo correcto y demandamos que hagan lo correcto para apoyar a nuestras familias. Solicitamos a la ciudad, el condado y el estado para crear una red de seguridad socioeconómica saludable para nuestros estudiantes, familias trabajadoras y comunidades, incluyendo estos requerimientos para el bienestar de nuestras comunidades. Primeramente, tener un plan de protocolos claros de salud y seguridad para el hogar. Hasta ahorita hemos escuchado mucho sobre cuáles términos tomar cuando estamos al aire libre, pero necesitamos protocolos claros para nuestros hogares. Que proporciones 15 días adicionales al año a todos los trabajadores en el condado de Los Ángeles para alinearse con el periodo de cuarentena de COVID-19. Tiempo libre adicional pagado para aquellos que no tienen días de enfermedad con sus empleadores. Un subsidio de salario semanal para que los padres que trabajan se puedan quedar en casa con sus hijos sin perder sueldo ninguno. La eliminación de todas barreras económicas para las pruebas y el tratamiento de COVID-19. Incluida la eliminación de todos los copagos y los deducibles de seguro. Llamamos que las autoridades crean una red de centros de distribución de alimentos y provisiones para nuestros estudiantes y familias vulnerables. Demandamos acceso al Internet para el acceso a aparatos electrónicos para estudiantes mientras que estén en casa durante este tiempo. La condonación de las deudas pagos suspendidos de renta y pagos hipotecarios, suspendidos a casos judiciales de desalojo y de servicios públicos. Y que no haya ninguna penal a las escuelas basadas en la asistencia diaria o las evaluaciones perdidas. También pedimos que por favor haya una inversión para nuestros estudiantes que no tienen vivienda segura y también para nuestros estudiantes que están en necesidades discapacitadas. Debemos también aumentar la capacidad para evaluar coronavirus, COVID-19, tanto en forma proactiva como reactiva, de manera que no se suponga en carga económica para las personas y las familias necesitadas. Ayer, el 11 de marzo, se sabía que se habían realizado solamente alrededor de 1,000 pruebas en total para una población de más de 327 millones. Sabemos que en otras partes del mundo, cuando hay una manera de probar las personas y mantenerlos en casa, es como se estabiliza el contagiano de coronavirus. Debemos proporcionar refugio seguro, servicios de atención médica y apoyo a nuestros estudiantes que sufran de falta de vivienda. Los filántropos y los multimillonarios que afirman que desean ayudar a los estudiantes deberían intervenir para apoyar un aumento inmediato y masivo en la capacidad de prueba de evaluación de COVID-19, como se han comenzado a hacer las fundaciones Amazon y la Fundación Gates en la ciudad de Seattle. Con tantos de nuestros estudiantes y sus familias sin seguro o con seguro insuficiente, esta pandemia destaca por qué UTLA y Bernie Sanders han abogado durante mucho tiempo para Medicare for All, Medicare para todos. Solo estamos tan protegidos como el menos protegidos entre nosotros. Estamos comprometidos a trabajar con agencias del distrito, la ciudad, el condado y el estado para asegurarnos que nuestros niños y familias con mayores necesidades reciban el apoyo de las formas apropiadas para superar esta crisis de salud potencialmente perjudiciales. Ahora estamos con nosotros la enfermera Stephanie Yellen.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm a school nurse with LA Unified. This is my 38th year as a school nurse for the district. I am working currently at Sherman Oaks Center for Enriched Studies. We're a magnet school, which is a 4 through 12 school that has students from all over the district coming to it. My students and my families and my community are really concerned. Right now, I am doing so much education on hand washing, and also we are not shaking hands, we're keeping our distance, and we're elbow bumping everybody. And don't forget to cough into your sleeve, I keep telling everybody, or into your clothing. We want people to know that the supplies that you have, such as soap and water, are very good. You probably aren't going to find very much hand sanitizer out there. It's on short supply. And even our schools, it's short supplied. And we're doing the best we can, and we are trying to get it in as fast as we can. Schools are limited. They don't have as much space for things. We have many students on our campuses from a vast variety of backgrounds. We have children with many different diseases that are not contagious, that have other kinds of illnesses that we need to protect as well. Plus, all those people and their families we need to protect. We need to make our community safe. We need to make our students safe. We need to make everyone safe. This is very important. By closing our schools, we know we can flatten out the spread of the disease. We do not want our students to be in close contact where they're going to be getting it from another friend or taking it home and giving it to someone. We want our families safe. We want our community safe. It is time to look at how we're going to do this. And by closing our schools, we can stop the spread. Our hospitals will be inundated if we have a full-blown epidemic here in Southern California. There is no way nurses can take care of everyone. We're at limited sources. There are limited numbers of us across the country. We are doing the best we can. And school nurses, we are the best of the best. We are public health nurses. We take care of families and students. We also know that this is very painful for our community, for our superintendent, for our schools. It was different here than it is in other places. We know that in China and in Japan and in Italy, where they closed the schools, we saw a decrease in the number of cases. We know currently there is no vaccine out there for the coronavirus. Our goal must be to flatten that curve, get our people healthy, keep them safe, and ready to learn in the classrooms. Social distancing is the main recommendation to buy valuable time to protect everyone. I agree with UTLA at this point that we need to close our schools and make it safe for everyone.
All right, thank you, Stephanie. So we're going to close it up here. We're going to take questions from media in a different format tonight because we didn't want to have a crowd in here. But I just want to end with this. The punchlines tonight are we are calling for the rapid, accelerated, and humane closure of LAUSD schools and all schools in LA. And second, there is an opportunity here to build a social safety net through 10 common good community support demands that we need every day, every year, and we definitely need now, and let's take the opportunity to build those. Those are the two punchlines, and I just want to say before we leave to the students out there, hang in there. We know that this can be a time that creates a little bit of anxiety. We have incredible youth leaders across Los Angeles, and we know that those youth leaders are involved in a lot of things, and right now you're in the middle of something that you haven't experienced before, and we're going to get through this together. To parents out there, working parents, parents at home, we are honored to work with your students and your kids and community members all year long. And when we have a situation of a crisis like this, we make sure to pull together and work together. So parents, we appreciate you. And to our great UTLA members, the folks who are on the front lines every day in our 900 different school sites across the city, what a pleasure and honor to represent you. And remember, educators, health and human service folks, teachers, etc., educators in every proactive movement that's meant something in society, educators have been there, whether it's a civil rights movement, the labor movement, or whatever. But the flip side of that coin is that in times of crisis, we use our movement to make sure that the people around us are okay. And we really are honored to work with you, all UTLA members, teachers, health and human service folks across the city, and we will make sure to get through this together. So thank you very much, and we will continue to be in very good contact with folks over social media and over email. Thank you very much, and have a great night.